Hello everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Brenda. I got something for you tonight I think you'll like, and you might have your own recipe already, but let me just tell you, I'm 50 plus, I'm even 55 plus, but my mom was making this when we were little. Me and my brother, and of course we always look forward to it because sometimes it won't set up. It's just, I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes it just will not set up, and if it don't set up, everybody grab a spoon. It tastes like hot fudge that you'd put on ice cream. So here we go. Now we're going to make some homemade fudge, and this is really homemade fudge from scratch. And so here's what I got to say about this so I won't forget. This fudge right here, it has to be measured correctly. I measured this. I can't just guess at it. You just wasted your ingredients if you just guess at it. And I'm talking, if you take a couple of granules of sugar too much, that's fine. If you take a teaspoon, even a half a teaspoon, that's too much. So it's just nitpicky fudge, but it's very good. It's worth it. Now, you can put nuts, walnuts, whatever you want to in this in the end, but I don't like them in it. My husband does, but I'm making it. And he'll still eat it. So, I like the nuts, but I don't like them in my cake, cookies, or candy. There is one cake I like it in. I'm going to make it for y'all, and that's the Mexican fruit cake, and I do not know why they would call it that. Now, I got this measured out already, but I want to show you. I use, since 1894, Hershey's Cocoa. I've always used it. It's naturally unsweetened, and that's what I've always used. So if you use a different kind, I don't know if it, I don't see why it wouldn't set up, but this is what my mom used too. We didn't use pieces or anything, so here we go. Now I got this measured out. This is 2 cups of sugar in this bowl. I got 1/2 cup of cocoa. And you can see a 1/2 cup right here. Okay, and it's measured. I take this over top of it and I swipe it. Now it can be packed. I mean, you know, you can pack it. You don't want no bubbles either. It needs to be right, even that. And I have a cup of milk. This is regular milk. Now you have to stand over this. This is something you have to stand over. That's just the way it is. I'm going to try to get it mixed up with my whisk. This is a gravy. I make packaged gravies with this sometimes if my husband wants it. So I'm going to get it going with this, get it to boiling. So I'm going to turn my eye up on high. Now you got to stand over this or it'll burn. It'll burn real quick. And I'll get it going and let you see it's got to come to a rolling boil to start with. So I'm going to turn it on high and get it to a rolling boil. I've already got the eye heated up on low, but I just want it to, you know, I got to get it going here. And this is going to probably boil about 7 or 8 minutes, to be honest. It's old-fashioned, but it's worth it. It's worth it to say, you know what, my mom was making this when I was a little girl. We remember her making it, especially me and my brother, because like I said, sometimes, I don't know if it's the humidity, I don't know why, but sometimes this will not set, and I don't understand it. But like I said, get you a gallon of vanilla ice cream and get ready. Or a spoon, because it's good just to get by the spoon and eat, and if you want major energy, do that. With the cocoa and the sugar, you can get a heck of a energy buzz, and get some things done. I need to do that, to be honest, but it's a little hard for me. I'm happy today because I thought, you know, I had told y'all I had a special surprise one day for you. Okay, I've got this all blended together, and I'm not going to continue to use this because I got to watch around the edges and stuff. And it's too hard to get off of this around the edges, so I'm going to get a spoon. I want to set that down in water so it'll clean right away. What do I got on this? Or this. Either one. I like these. I like a spatula because you can really keep it, it won't stick on the bottom if you use something like this. Plus you can get it around the sides real easy. I call them an egg turner. I don't know, maybe I sound silly, but I call them an egg turner because I turn eggs, but you also turn pancakes. So I guess the proper name would be a spatula. Okay, it's coming to a rolling boil now. And I want you to see, it's going to look like it's foaming up. And I'm going to see, I can turn it down so you can still see it coming to a rolling boil. You see? Okay. I want them to see real good how it's boiling, and I think the light was blocked. See? It's really boiling fast. Okay, I'm going to turn it down because these pots are really hot. I turned it down, and what you want is to try to get it on lower heat, but to continue boiling. Not a rolling boil, but boiling. You know, where you can see the little boiling going on in your pot, but it's not going to come to the top and boil over. I don't think it will in this pot anyway, because it's a little bit bigger than the ones I usually use. And there again, I haven't made it in these pots, so it might get ready quicker. When you use just a little old aluminum or tin or whatever it is pot, you know, you have to cook it a long time, but with this one, I don't think I'll have to cook it as long. Yeah, you can use something like this, and it doesn't matter what. You can use anything you want to in here, wood and whatever. But I'm going to say, you know, you need something heavy. In a minute, you're going to need something different. And I think I got this at a rolling boil, and there's something I want to look for real quick. I've used it for a long time, and I want to look for it. I forgot about it. Plus, you can get it almost all off of there. What I want to do is just set this up on here if I can. And look for thing with. I might have to do some stirring. I think this one will work right here. Get in there. Sorry about the noise.
You got any stories from when y'all used to make that?
Yeah, sometimes this wouldn't set up, and we would all grab a spoon, of course. Mommy didn't really like for us to do that, but she didn't really want to waste it either. Because if it don't set, you either throw it away, get some vanilla ice cream, and this is hot fudge, or, you know, you can make hot fudge the same way and put it in a little jar, like, you know, the ones that I put the banana pudding in. You could put this in there if it don't set up and use it for hot fudge. You know, hot fudge, when you got it in the refrigerator, once you've opened it, it gets hard. You have to put it in the microwave to loosen it up a little bit. Well, this would serve the same purpose. If it don't set as fudge, it can be hot fudge for ice cream. Banana split, for instance. I love ice cream. I'm a dairy eater. And you can tell too. You see, this is doing a good little boil in here. I tell you, I don't think it's far from being ready, and I haven't been working on it long. You see the kind of boil it's doing? Just doing a little teeny boiling, but it's steady. And don't let it stick. Now this is some of my pots at 7 layers. And so it gets real hot. And I don't think it's going to take very long. You'll be surprised. That's the next thing that I have to do to check it. Some of you that's older might know what I'm going to do, but somebody might not know. Because it's already looking close to me. It was so funny. My granddaughter, a couple weeks ago, my granddaughter was in from college. And she stopped by and she said, Nana, you got that fudge recipe that you make? And I said, of course. She said, no, I mean, have you got it wrote down? And I said, somewhere. And so we got to searching for it in a box that I have recipes in, and we found it. And she said, Mom wants it. And I just got to thinking, I thought Mom has it. And she said, well, Mom wants it, and all her stuff's still in the storage building because she was moving. And so I said, okay, we got it, and she wrote it down. Well, later on, I was talking to my daughter, and I said, did your fudge turn out? And she said, Mom, Carly was the one that wanted to make that fudge. And I said, well, I wonder why she said you wanted it. And she said, I don't know. So I told her, I said, Carly, I found out that you're the one that wanted the recipe. I said, did it turn out? And she said, the first time it didn't. I said, did you try again? She said, I'm doing it right now, Nana. So the second time it did turn out for her. Okay, I'm going to have to do something here. It's gotten to where now it's boiling real steady. It's trying to stick. And you see, I've been standing here right now doing it, and it's trying to stick, so it's getting close to ready. And we'll turn it down a little bit more, keep that eye going. But I got to do something real quick. Can you turn that cold water on for me? Let it run pure cold all the way over to the cold. I need it pure cold. Cold as it'll get. Okay, you're going to need a glass with water in it, as cold as you can get it, like that, and a spoon. Let me stir it, make sure it's not sticking or anything. It's trying to, that's why I'm thinking it's almost ready. These pots cook so much quicker, especially with the lids on them. First time I've made it in these pots. Now, you just take a little tiny bit of it. Just get your little bit on the end of your spoon. Drop it in that, take a little drop in that cold water. Now, you see what happened? You see that ball in that cold water? Okay, let's do it one more time just to make sure. Now, I'll tell you what that means. That's your thermometer right there. That jar of cold water is your thermometer. This fudge is ready for the next step, but I wanted to just make sure. Get a little bit on the edge of your spoon. Drop it in the water. If it'll drop. Do it one more time just to triple short. Okay, when you do this, if that fudge makes a ball, it's ready. If it spreads out in the glass and just makes it milky looking, it will not be ready for the next step. So we can turn our eye off because it's ready for the next step. Okay, you want to lick the spoon? It's probably hot. Okay, we don't need this no more. As you can see, it made the balls in there, so it's ready. I am happy, man. I'm so glad I don't have to stand here for 8 to 10 minutes stirring this, you know. And you can see it didn't stick on the bottom of my pot, and it's nice and creamy.
Looks like motor oil.
No, it looks good. It looks like hot fudge. I can get me a spoon now and start eating. Between that and the steroid, that'd be good together, wouldn't it? Ouch, that was hot. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep that hot a while. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this bowl over here. I'm going to put that away. I didn't use it. I'm going to bring this vanilla and this. Now this right here, I know this thing looks bad. I've been using this for 37 years. I bought something when microwaves started first coming out. I bought something out of the freezer with this, and I kept it all these years for fudge. It's perfect. It looks dirty. It's not dirty. It's just old, like me, for instance. Now I'm going to make sure my fudge eye's turned off, but it'll stick real easy, but it's not sticking. Now what I'm going to do is, with that, I gotta watch my hair because it's real long, and if it's down, it comes way down here, but if it's up like that, now I'm gonna take just a little teeny butter, and it ain't soft enough yet, but I'm gonna rub some around the edges. Okay? I dropped a little bit of sugar in there, but it doesn't matter. Just make sure it's good around the corners and the bottom. That's all you gotta do. Okay, what I'll do when we're done, I'm gonna pour that fudge in there. If it sets up, then, and I hope it will, because I want you to see, you'll take and put some warm water in the bottom of the sink, if it won't come out, and just sit this down in here so it can get the bottom and around the edges a little bit, and that butter will melt and it will turn loose. You could do other things like that if you wanted to. Okay, I got that. It's hot. I'm going to do one. With this, it really won't matter. Oh, 1, 2. About 2 teaspoons of butter, or 2 tablespoons of butter. Sorry about that. And that'll be okay. And we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla in that bowl. Okay. It don't have to be real vanilla. It can be imitation. I couldn't find my real one, so whatever. It's okay. Either way it'll work. You don't need that. Now what we're going to do, I'm just going to set this over here on my way because it's prepared. It's ready for whatever I'm going to do next. Now I'm going to pour this in the bowl. You need this to stay hot, okay, because it's got to melt that butter. You could cut it up in smaller pieces if you want to, as long as it's the right amount. I'm going to tell you again, this has to be measured correctly. Now you didn't see it, but I already had that butter measured off. I just made a little spot in it so I'd know where to cut. Oh, this pot's getting heavy.
Let me hold it.
I'm going to try to get it. Thank you. I might be able to get it there. I'll try to save you a little bit here to lick. Oh, Lordy. Now you know what this spoon's for, but I have a spoon that won't bend or not, but I don't think this one will either, but there's just one I like a lot, and it might be dirty. I done those last night. And by the way, there's some questions. Last night we had some problems. That's good. Last night we had some problems. Something happened with the microphone on the recorder. So if there's any questions, please ask. On the banana pudding, of course, I put a lid on it, just like I canned it. I put the lid on it, set it in the refrigerator. And you can eat it in about an hour to 2 hours. It needs to just blend together a little bit, the cookies and the pudding and everything. The cookies are ready right away. As soon as you do them, they're done. Of course, the bacon was ready right there. And in case you didn't hear me, that bacon needs to be thick and also needs to be plain. If you get like applewood bacon or something like that, then you need to use regular flour, not seasoned, or it'll be real salty. Now, here's what you got to do to this. I got the butter melted, and this old bowl's about as old as that pan. It's a Tupperware bowl. Okay, now you're going to have to beat this really good, like this. Just kind of like this, beat it really good and keep it off the sides here and there so you can get it all in there and get it beat real good. This is what you have to do for 3 or 4 minutes. You know, you can tell it might, as it starts cooling down a little bit, it'll start crystallizing all around the edge of the bowl. As it starts cooling while I'm beating it, that's what'll happen. Then I'll know it's ready to pour in that pan and we'll be done. Then we see if it sets up. And that's something, you know, I don't know. I might not get to show you that right away, so I'm going to tell you, it'll get hard. If it sets, it'll get hard. And just set it down in a little bit of water, you know, about halfway up the bowl that I'm going to put it in, the little pan I'm going to put it in. Hot water. Just let it set there 15-20 seconds and then see if it'll come out. It probably will. Should. And if not, you might have to leave it setting a couple more minutes. Like I said, you can't guess on this. It has to be measured. And it was all measured 100%. And I don't know why it won't sometimes, but it just won't always set. Now we're going to see what it's going to do. Hey, it might though, because I see a little glaze coming over the top of it, if you can see them. I see a little glaze coming. Maybe it will set. Well, we're going to come back in a little bit and see, okay? So we'll see you in a few.
It's going. They got another weather alert. It's going to be cold.
You know, this kind of cold weather I can handle. I mean, it hurts. Okay, everybody, I'm surprised. I took this and I put it back in our back room. It's cool back there, and it did set. I'm very surprised. Look, I've never done it in those pots. I've always done it in this pot. I've had this a long, long time, and I've always done it in that type of pot. It's tin or aluminum or whatever. So it looks like it did set real good. So we'll cut a piece here and see what happens. Let me see if I can get it up out there. Let's just cut it. Looks pretty good. Might have overcooked it. So you just never know until it sets and you see what you got. Don't know if I'm going to have to set it down in hot water or not. I just make little pieces, you know, little squares. And they're never even, by the way. Let me see if I can get one up out there. Yeah, it's coming up real easy. I don't have to put it in no water. Done real good. That's real good.
That's real good.
Like I said, you can use peanut butter. I want to show you something. When you're using the pot and you got the spoon in there, when you put it on the stove and you're stirring it, also try to beat it a little bit in the pot. It'll start crystallizing around the edge of the pot too. You want more? It's coming up real easy. It is good. Anyway, and mix it real good in that bowl and stir it till it starts cooling down. And once it'll take a few minutes for that to start cooling down, and it'll start crystallizing around the bowl, and then just pour it in here and hope for the best. That's all you can do. And if it doesn't do it, here you go, a jar and a lid. Just pour it in there and keep it for hot fudge. It works good for hot fudge, because I'll tell you, this is real hard to get it to set. I've made it 1,000,000 times. Made me real happy when my granddaughter called, or she came by actually and wrote down my recipe. And I was real happy about that. Makes you feel good. She's 19 and she asked me for my recipe for fudge, and that got me in the heart, so makes you feel good. Well, everybody, thanks for watching us make some fudge today, and hopefully somebody will try it and be successful. Don't give up if it doesn't work. Try again until you get it right. And like I said, you gotta measure it perfect. Thanks for cooking with Brenda. We'll see you next time. Bye.